Just on any threatening weather right now and what happened earlier in parts of our viewing area.
How's the Delta variant where you live? We do a deep dive so you have a better understanding of the threat.
And why some Fargo leaders say the public input portion of the city commission meetings should end. Valley News Live at 10 is next.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Good evening, everyone. I was just told by the storm team as they continue to monitor storm developments in our region, and it's relatively quiet out there right now, and that's not the way it was earlier this evening.
Check this out. Here's a couple photos sent to us from Beltrami County. The first one is of some pretty good sized hail there. That's got to be close to 2 inches. That fell about the same time as a confirmed tornado was spotted in that same area.
Here's another photo of a window that had been broken probably by hail. It's in the town of Townstrike, which is near Gull Lake, not the one near Brainerd, the one I'm told in Beltrami. Are we out of the woods yet as far as threatening weather? Well, let's find out from Hutch. What do you have, Hutch?
Well, I'll tell you what, we have a storm system that really delivered a real punch of severe weather to Beltrami County, and that was about it for our entire viewing area. We had a lot of activity going on today, or potential, we could say. It just didn't materialize. Here's a look at some of the things that we had. We had hot air, temperatures still in the 80s in the south. It cooled a little bit in Minnesota where the storms made their way through. Plenty of moisture. It would have been nice to get some rainfall out of this system because there is a lot of moisture laced in the atmosphere. And then, well, we needed so hot up above us today. It just and there is still energy out there for storms to form, but our risk of severe weather has waned. Therefore, the Storm Prediction Center has dropped the severe thunderstorm watch in our area. It continues for the Arrowhead of Minnesota, and we turn the page now and look ahead towards heat in the forecast. I'll have hour-by-hour details and what you can expect in your forecast as we go through the rest of your work week next, but I think our storm risk for tonight for us, by and large, is a thing of the past.
Well, there's nothing wrong with it being quiet out there.
No, not at all, other than the lack of rain.
All right, thanks.
The city of Fargo is enacting new restrictions because of the drought. It includes mandatory odd, even outdoor water restrictions for residential, commercial, and industrial uses, as well as for landscape watering and commercial vehicle washing. There are no restrictions on essential water uses like shower, laundry, or toilet usage. For more information, just head over to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.
Health officials continue to urge unvaccinated residents to roll up your sleeves as the Delta variant surges across the country. Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor has more on how this dominant strain is impacting the Red River Valley.
The COVID-19 pandemic is far from over, and Minnesota health officials are encouraging unvaccinated residents to get their shot as soon as possible.
The Delta variant, which is significantly more infectious than the original strain, has become the dominant version circulating in Minnesota.
424 COVID-19 cases and 3 deaths were reported just since the last count on Friday. The Minnesota Department of Health has indicated within the last few months, the number of COVID-19 cases and deaths have been relatively low, reporting 100 or less cases daily. But compared to just last month, there has been an uptick due to this dominant strain of the virus.
The Delta variant is causing 3 out of every 4 COVID cases in Minnesota at this point in time. And that means trouble for people who aren't protected because they never got vaccinated.
The health department is also on the lookout for breakthrough cases, which are when vaccinated individuals contract COVID-19.
We have had a total of 3,886 vaccine breakthrough cases documented in Minnesota among over 3 million fully vaccinated Minnesotans.
Although the breakthrough cases are on the health department's radar, the rate of these cases remain at less than 1%, suggesting the vaccines are very protective. But health officials say Minnesota has not reached a point of herd immunity, and with many left to be vaccinated, the door is open for the Delta variant to continue spreading. Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Minnesota's health department says the vaccination rates are remaining steady and the state could be on track to reaching President Biden's goal of 70% by the end of August. So far, 68% of Minnesotans 16 and older have received at least 1 dose.
The fiancé of a Fargo man killed outside of a North Fargo gas station over the weekend says there are still a lot of unanswered questions. Police say 41-year-old Eric Hayes suffered a single gunshot wound and later died. 40-year-old Raymond Gunn is in jail. It happened outside the Loaf and Jug gas station in the 1200 block of University Drive South late Saturday night.
Everybody that knew us knew that we were soulmates, we were meant to be together, and we will see each other again. And this isn't goodbye. It's till we meet again.
Now, Jansen says she doesn't know Gunn and doesn't have any idea what would have led up to the shooting. We reached out to Raymond Gunn, who's being held at the Cass County Jail. He declined an interview. He's expected to be formally charged tomorrow or Wednesday.
The city of Fargo is going to seek a judge's opinion on term limits. Commissioners voting 3-2 tonight to move forward. At issue is whether Mayor Tim Mahoney can run for another term as mayor in June. There's an ongoing debate surrounding how the current ordinance is being interpreted. While the city attorney says he can't, Mahoney's lawyers say he can. A judge's opinion may help clear up for others who might want to run for mayor. If you're looking to buy a parking lot, the city of Fargo is asking for bids on the one at Island Park. Bell Bank is interested in it. At this point, the value would be at least $9.5 million. Bell Bank has told the city it plans on redoing the inside and outside of the Bank of the West building next door and is in the need of additional parking for upwards of 400 employees. The future of public comments at Fargo City Commission meetings was questioned tonight. Commissioner Tony Gehrig called public comment an open mic night, saying it has the same 5 people who speak every week. Gehrig says residents should get on the agenda if they want to bring up different issues and not air their grievances. Ultimately, the commission voted on continuing public comments the way it is.
The Grand Forks School Board is keeping masks optional until at least the end of summer. August 2nd is the beginning of intro to kindergarten as well as summer school for 1st through 8th graders. Superintendent Dr. Terry Brenner says summer school for the high schoolers was a success with masks optional. 5 students were tested for COVID. All were negative. The school board will decide in the coming weeks what to do about masking when all students return at the end of August, with several board members and community members speaking both for and against masks. The districts will not be offering a distance learning option this school year.
Authorities are investigating how a 72-year-old Fargo woman died in a head-on crash this afternoon. According to the sheriff's office, the woman was driving westbound on County Road 41 near Evansville when she crossed the center line and hit a pickup truck driven by a 38-year-old man from Brandon. The woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The other driver, as well as his passenger, were hurt, but they both are expected to survive.
The United States post 9/11 combat mission in Iraq is coming to an end. John Lawrence has the latest.
After nearly 2 decades, America's combat mission in Iraq that began in the years following the September 11th terror attacks is set to come to a close by the end of the year.
Any news that we are ending our presence in Iraq is, as far as I'm concerned, good news.
President Biden, along with the Iraqi Prime Minister, making it official Monday.
We are not going to be by the end of the year in a combat mission.
American troops will remain in Iraq in a non-combat role. The world leaders saying their new joint goal is fighting terror in the region.
American, they help Iraq. Together we fight and defeat ISIS.
The fight against ISIS is critical for the stability of the region, and our counterterrorism cooperation will continue even as we shift to this new phase we're going to be talking about.
General John Hyten says it's new threats that's shifting the United States' focus from the Middle East.
We have to not ignore the threats in the Middle East, but deal with the threats in the Middle East in a different way, with a smaller footprint, so we can divert more of our body on the threats in China and Russia. So that's where we're moving there.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
And with U.S. forces pulling out of Afghanistan, there's an urgent need to evacuate Afghans who have helped the U.S. and coalition forces. If that doesn't happen, those people will likely be targeted by the Taliban. Lawmakers in both parties have ramped up pressure on the White House to move quickly. The Biden administration has told Congress it needs $1 billion in emergency funding for the effort to get visas to those Afghans. However, a formal request for funding has not been submitted.
A plea deal's on the table for a Trump supporter who allegedly brought firearms and explosives to Washington, D.C. on January 6th. 71-year-old Lonnie Kaufman's attorney said his client is considering the offer. Kaufman was arrested near the Capitol with what one judge called a small army of guns and homemade bombs. Authorities say Kaufman's arsenal is in his truck included an assault rifle, handgun, and 11 homemade bombs. He also had a list of Democratic officials, leading one judge to say Kaufman was targeting political figures for possible violence.
The identification of the 98th victim in the collapse of a condo in Surfside, Florida, brought the painstaking process of searching for missing people to a close. The 54-year-old woman was the only victim left unrecovered nearly a month after the collapse. Police will continue sorting through the pile to be sure that all identifiable human remains are recovered.
Still ahead on Valley News Live at 10. I don't know what the record is for most innings played, but we'll introduce you to someone who has played this game a long, long time.
And as we look at the skies over eastern North Dakota, they've been relatively quiet. That was not the case in Beltrami County. We turn our attention to some significant heat in the forecast for your Tuesday afternoon. We could have some heat indices in the triple digits. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast